Hello. Oh yes, I'm Singaporean. From Lakeside to Outram Park. Okay, so right we are at now, if you walk straight up and turn to the left in about 300 meters, you will see a sign that says MRT. Just follow the MRT sign and you'll probably reach to Lakeside MRT. And from then on, right, just take the train from Lakeside, from the green line that says that's going all the way to Pasir Ris. Take the train towards Pasir Ris. And from then on, you would reach probably in about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, in about approximately 10 stops. And when you exit the train, and there you are at Outram Park. Yes, I would suggest that you take a bus because you'll be going through from. It'll be a bit tough saying that you'll be going through from south to north part of Singapore. I mean, I'm not really sure about the buses that we can take, but I could probably Google Maps for you. But if you want to take an MRT, it's possible, but I wouldn't advise it. Although, probably you could just take the train towards Jurong East and transit from the green line over to the red line. And from red line, you can just take at about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stops, and you reach Woodlands MRT. Mhm. Well, I would suggest that you could go to. I mean, there's a lot of nature reserves, not a lot, but there's considerably enough nature reserves in Singapore. I wouldn't recommend going to the zoo because, like, why go to the zoo when you can experience nature by itself? But if you do want to go to the zoo, there's a bus from Choa Chu Kang MRT that goes straight there. I have no idea how else to go to the zoo because of the fact that I don't really go there that much. But there is a bus from Choa Chu Kang. Can we check from Google Maps where the bus is, where you can take the bus from? Mhm. Well, not really. I mean, zoos are more like of a tourist attraction, but I would say the nature reserves is just. I mean, I've seen a lot of people running around there. You could probably go for runs around there if you're interested in that. But it's much more toned down because there's not a lot of people over there, and you could basically just walk around and experience Singapore's tropical areas. I would say of. I mean, there's a lot of things to see over there. I mean, there could be crocodiles down there if you're not careful. If you consider paying for transport to go over, then yeah, you have to pay for transport. But it'll probably cost you less than $2 to go over there from Outram if you're from there. But entrance over there is free for everyone. You got Macritchie Reservoir, you got Sungai Buloh Reservoir, you got Kranji area. I'm not really sure where Kranji is at, but I mean, where is it at? But I know there's the Sungai Buloh one, which is in the northwest side of Singapore. Hmm. Um, well, you could go to Sentosa. I forgot what it's called because I have never been there before. I mean, after they revamped the whole area, it used to be called. Uh, I can't remember what it's called. But the last time I went to that area was when I was like really young. But you could check it out. Probably there's a website on Sentosa's um, directory regarding tourism board from the tourism board. Um, from pictures that I've seen from my friends' Instagrams and social media, I would say it's pretty a nice place. Price wise, I'm not sure, but so you have to check it out from the website. Oh, it's simple. Basically just take um train to Harbourfront, or you could take a bus to Harbourfront. And if you go inside the mall at VivoCity, you go all the way up. You can either choose to actually cross by foot, because Sentosa itself is an island off the south coast of Singapore. So you could probably go there via train, which is like a I wouldn't say train, it's a monorail. And or you could choose to walk. I mean, it's up to you. But I would say you should take the train, the monorail, because it's faster. That's one thing. And Singapore is a really hot climate, warm and humid. So if you have a choice and you have the money to take a tram, why not take the tram? Yeah. Mhm. In my house. Okay, generally like not okay, I'm kidding regarding that. But um I usually hang out around areas where I can get food. And that depends on where I want to go. So usually like as a young person, the first place you would ever go if you ever bought is town, central area. Um, but for myself, sometimes I'm too lazy to go over there, so I just go to Jurong area. Jurong East area has a lot of malls and wholesale malls with different um different brands that you could patronize in. So it's really quite nice. Oh, town area is in, I mean, central of it all is Orchard, but actually extends um all the way until I would say Bugis area and Raffles Place area. So about the stations for Raffles Place, City Hall, Orchard, Somerset, and Bugis. Dhoby Ghaut also I would consider it as town area, but they are a bit far apart, so I wouldn't recommend that you walk unless it's at night time because then it's kind of cool. Yep, that is my. Okay, the Merlion is basically from the story of was it it's a myth. It's a form of legend. It's not even a myth, it's a legend because myth is based on something, but it's a legend. Um, of a combination of two creatures, which is the fish and the mermaid and a lion. If so, the creature is actually a head of a lion and the body of a fish in the form of a mermaid. So that's why they call it a Merlion. I mean, if you want to paint it like one of your French girls, it could be horizontal. Okay, it's in Singapore River and it basically looks like um a white marble statue. No, I don't know whether it's marble or not, but it's a white in color. Yeah, it's not marble. It's white in color and it basically spits out water in a continuous fountain kind of way. The mane is dripping all the way until I would say until the shoulder level of the mermaid. The rest of the body itself is a body of a mermaid with scales, which is the tail area. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, Google will help a lot. Okay, it depends on whether you want to take the scenic route or you just want to walk over there. I mean, if you want to take the scenic route or you just want to take the MRT over there straight. The scenic route will be walking from Clarke Quay all the way down to Raffles Place. It's just the Singapore River, the skyline itself. At night, it will look nice. Plus, the nightlife over at Clarke Quay is a thing, so you could probably go visit around the whole area. They have bars and like tapas bars over there where you can get food if you wish to. But if you don't, you could probably just take a train to Raffles Place and just take a walk over there. I mean, you have to walk either way, but the scenic route will be from Clarke Quay, although it will take some time for you to walk there. What I eat for breakfast would be just bread and sometimes half-boiled eggs, depends on my mood. But what Singaporeans consider as like a so-called traditional in a way, breakfast would be just kaya toast with butter on one side and kaya on one side. And kaya is actually just like coconut-ish jam. Yeah, but it's just a coconut jam. Sometimes it's flavored with pandan, or they have this. It's basically just egg and coconut-ish kind of taste to it. I don't really know how to place it, but it's more on the sweet side of the palate. Yeah, but it tastes like smooth jam, but less of the berry kind of taste to it. Okay, it's more of like, I mean, it's a coconut, so yeah. But in general, that is a common Singaporean breakfast: toast, butter, kaya. Not butter, it's more of margarine kaya, and two eggs half boiled, and then they would just crack it and mix it with soy sauce and um black pepper. Yeah, they give you an entire egg. Oh yes, yes, you have to. Um, uh, they do cook it for you, and then they give you the whole eggs after that, but you have to break it and then put inside then crack it inside a small plate for yourself. And then usually for me, I would take coffee from the store from the food court itself, because the coffee there is, they say in the form like it's more concentrated than coffee outside, so it's a bit sweeter. So if you don't really like sweet coffee, then it's, I would say you should ask for less sugar or less milk, less condensed milk. So yeah. Yes. I would say the whole meal itself is about $2.50 to $3, depending on where you are at. Although if you were to eat at this area called a kopitiam, it will probably cost you about 250 to 70, depending on where you're at. Because if you're nearer to the city area, then it's a bit pricey. Mm-hmm. Okay, myself, it's a my for myself, I'm a mixed race person, so I'm a mix of Malay and Indian. So I'm not really culturally Indian, but I have a palate for Indian foods. So in general, I would say for breakfast, if you want to taste what Malay people actually eat for breakfast, would be something like lontong. And lontong is basically rice cakes with um a sort of mix, a sort of, I wouldn't say it's a curry, but it's like a soup base with um I'm not sure what the soup base is made up of, but I know it's really tasty. Mm. Yes, an Indian version of breakfast would be thosai. Thosai is like, it's like you basically have like a paste that you mix. It's like a waffle paste, but not really a waffle paste. I don't really know how to describe it because I've never really made it myself. But you basically make it into a huge pancake, and then you cook it until it's crispy, and then you fold it into a large cylindrical shape, and you serve it with three types of no, I wouldn't say curry, but three types of curry pastes in some way. There's one that's normal curry. There's one white colored pasty kind of curry that is more towards coconut flavored in a way. And then there's the red version, which is mixed with blended chilies and spices from the Indian family. It's not really about the chicken, but it's more about how the rice is cooked. It's mostly cooked with, I'm not really sure the proper ingredients, but I know there's ginger because I found ginger in my rice before. Um, I think there's flavored water that they use, but I'm not really sure what kind of water is it. Is it? I'm not sure. But from the way I smell it, like there's a lot of ginger in it. From the smell. No, I actually bit into it, so that was a problem. But like, yeah, and like the way the chicken is cooked it depends on the chicken rice that you ordered. It could be Hainanese, it could be different forms. There's a Malay form of chicken rice, but the basis of the rice itself is the same for all different cuisines of different races in a way. But in general, like if you look at the Chinese version of chicken rice itself, it's mostly steamed or roasted chicken, and then they also have like different incorporations with um duck, but that would be duck rice already, so it's not chicken anymore. But in terms of the roasted chicken, so like that's what I feel about chicken rice itself. Like there's a lot of different variations of it, but the basis is the rice itself. Yeah. Oh, we love it, but we don't like eat it every meal. Like if you were to eat chocolate every meal, like it will probably feel like yeah. Yeah, sure. Okay, chop chop is basically like what we Singaporeans term as like the urgency to do something in a faster motion or to get people to actually move faster for you. So let's say if I were to say, uh, come on guys, let's do this work, chop chop, then we can go home. Basically means that I'm asking them to do the work in a like more it's there's this like urgency to do that work so that we can all go back home. Yeah, in a way you could use it in a way that's like a fast motion to ask someone to actually do the things in a more urgent manner because you have to go somewhere or something like that. Oh, it's pronounced as atas. Yeah, atas. So okay, let's say let's say um I buy a branded good that is not that is not like it's a counterfeit, and then like my friend would tell me that I just want to be atas in a way like there's another like Singlish word to it, which is like step atas. Step is basically steps, but in our Singlish context, it's more of like trying to be, and then atas itself basically means like you're like above everyone else. So you're trying to be above everyone else, and in that case, it's like saying that you are above everyone else because you buy branded goods, but it's not proper because it's counterfeit. So that's why it's like trying to step atas in a way. You could describe someone who's rich as atas. It basically means that you are like of higher standing than others. So it could also mean like let's say your grades is very good, then you're basically atas ah. Above average I would say. Okay. Um the thing about Singlish language is that it's very we cut out words that are not needed inside the context of the whole sentence. So we get to the point as much as we can, like just straight to the point. So when you say act cute, right, it's like a short form for someone who is acting cute, but you just want to like say it out straight, get to the point. So act cute. So you just cut out all the unnecessary words, which is acting. You cut it out to act. So in its literal context, it just means someone who is trying to be adorable, trying to be cutesy, in that kind of sense. Um, I mean, I don't see it in a negative connotation too, because if I'm so-called acting cute, that means there's some form of me that's still cute. And I don't see it in a bad light, but some Singaporeans use it in a degradatory term. Degradatory term. So I don't really see it in a bad light. But like, I'll take it as it is. You could, but the thing is that the cat is already cute, so it doesn't really make sense. Macam. Okay. Um, Macam itself is derived from the word macam in Malay, which basically means like. So in general, like this kind of words in Singlish is brought from different languages. Singlish itself is a accumulation of different languages from Cantonese, Hokkien, Malay, a bit of Tamil, I would say, but I'm not really sure where it comes from. And also, it's a vocalized kind of language when it comes to English. So the way I say it, like I could say it as macam, or I could say it as like the context of the whole sentence itself. It changes the meaning of the word. But macam in general is likening it to something else. So let's say like he eats like a pig. So I would say he eats macam pig. I mean, although it doesn't really make sense in that case, but if someone were to use macam, it would be something like likening it to something else. Oh no 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 no! But likening it to something else. It's like yeah, it's like literature. Yeah, you get what I mean. Yeah, you could do that. I mean, it's a bit broken English, but you could. Yeah.